Hey guys, FirstinWeather here. It is May 27th, 2018, and we have Tropical Storm Alberto expected to make landfall tomorrow afternoon, Monday, around 1 p.m. And it's expected to maintain tropical storm strength when it makes landfall, and then it should rapidly weaken into a depression by 1 a.m. Tuesday, and then basically turn into a subtropical low as it goes into the interior portions of the country. So let's take a deeper look into Alberto, if I can get my models back on. So here's some of the models when it comes to forecasted storm track. So this is these are basically this is one set of storm tracks by a particular set of weather models, and as you can see, all of them are very in tune. It's quite likely now, all these models are quite confident there's really almost no variance that it's going to go, so Alberto is going to go somewhere in this area, so basically straight up. As soon as it makes landfall here, it's going to go straight up, basically completely due north, and then finally slowly start to go east once it reaches this area. But by the time it's over here, it's really going to be just a disorganized area of moisture, nothing really else. And then if we go to this area, it's pretty much the same thing, except this one has more of a curve to the west and then goes east, but you get the idea. It's going to make landfall somewhere right here in the western panhandle of Florida, curve a little bit to the west, or go like this, and then start to curve to the east once it reaches northwestern Ohio. So what does that mean for Virginia? Well, no direct impacts, but as this thing goes north, since we're on the east side, we're going to get some moisture thrown back our way as we get closer. So around Tuesday or Wednesday, our rain chances go up, and also we have storm chances every single day, like 30-40% storm chances each day. That's a typical summertime pattern. But our chances will be enhanced by this extra moisture from the remnants of Alberto. And in terms of effects for areas that are expected to get a direct hit, well, if we go there and check, you'll see we have tropical storm watches in effect and flash flood watches in effect for these areas. And if you look right here, we have this big area of flash flood watches in northwestern South Carolina, northern portions of Georgia, and basically all of North Carolina. And that's because if you look on the models, basically a big band of rain is expected to come from Alberto into this area. And if we go back to the weather models, and I'll show you that right now, the 3km. So you have this big area of rain right there. Oops, that's not what I want. You have this pretty large area of rain that's going to be pretty moderate to heavy in some areas, and that could lead to some isolated flash flooding in these areas right here. But look, as it's going to be competing with dry air coming in from the north right here, so it's expected to completely dissipate once it reaches Virginia. So our rain chances on Monday don't really look too high, but they do look pretty promising as you head down south near South Hill and northern portions of South Carolina. And as you notice right here, you have Alberto right over here. Alright, and then as we take it through, you're going to see some more, you're going to see Alberto basically going directly north according to the NAM, and it should significantly weaken as it goes north. So that's it for Alberto, really. Not really too big of a deal. A few states here have declared state of emergencies and ahead of Alberto, just to deliver supplies to areas that will need it. But it's really going to be just a tropical storm. Nothing really too big. The biggest threat out of this will be flooding, not winds or storm surge. Winds will be relatively weak for tropical systems, only about 60 to 65 miles per hour at its strongest. But rainfall amounts could be heavy in these areas, which is why flash flood watches have been posted for many locations in southeastern portions of the United States. So now let's go to the long range. All right. So again, we're in a typical summertime pattern for the southeastern United States. We're just seeing storm chances every single day. As you can see, that's really the pattern for the next 15 days or so. If you see, we're going to have basically warm conditions, highs in the mid 80s, sometimes low 90s, and basically afternoon storm chances almost every single day. That's typical for this time of year. You have that wet pattern. And talking about a wet pattern, this May was actually the #1 wettest May in Richmond, Virginia of all time, and many portions of the southeast have seen their top 10 wettest Mays on record. If you recall, we had that that stalled front right here, and we had moisture from a tropical system right here, or a subtropical system, I can't remember, but it was basically a system right here, and it was pumping in moisture, and it was basically like hitting this brick wall, and all that water just pumped down all over Virginia, the southeast right here, and we just saw bucket loads of rain. And one thing that's interesting is that the past 3 years in Richmond, Virginia have all been in the top 10 for wettest Mays on record. So that's definitely interesting. We'll see. I'm interested to see if that happens next year. But definitely we've had some wet Mays the past few years. And this wet pattern does look to continue over the next couple of weeks with storm chances almost every single day, around 30-40%. And if you look at temperature anomalies, let's see, that's not what I want. Well, we can see that temperatures should be basically varying. So some days will be above average, some days will be slightly below average, but I think I don't know why the GFS model is showing these wedge scenarios that are more typical of winter, but I do not agree with this at all. I think we're going to be seeing more of above average temperatures for the next 2 weeks, and the National Weather Service forecast represents this. If you go to climate prediction, you'll see that 6-day temperature outlook, 8 to 14 day, it actually has slightly below average temperatures, and this is because at the end of this 8 to 14 day period, we're going to be seeing, according to the GFS, that wedge-like pattern, which the National Weather Service is also saying, which I'm kind of surprised by. I don't really think that's going to be the case. This is next week, Monday, June 4th. I don't really think that's going to be the case, but it's interesting to see. And then if we go to the 3 to 4 week, again, it has this area of below average temperatures right here, which is interesting. I didn't really expect that. Let me go see what's going on. Give me 1 sec. Oh, okay. Alright. So, basically, what the GFS is showing, what the National Weather Service is also showing, is that around next week, we're going to get basically a split jet stream pattern. So, we're going to get one area going like this, and the other going like this. Let's see if I can make that more clear for you guys. Yeah, this is a good one. So it's going like this. So that's let me use another one. So it's going like this and like this. So you have the jet stream, one part of the jet stream going like down here, another part going right here. So you have warm conditions right here, and then you have cooler conditions right here from that trough, and that's what the GFS was meaning when it showed that little wedge of cold air right here. I think it's a little overdone, to say the least, but I think I understand what it's saying now. So that would actually mean slightly drier conditions for the mid-Atlantic and southeast after this week and into the middle of next week. So for the next week or so, again, we're going to see that typical summertime pattern with almost daily chances for storms. But midweek next week, we're going to see that transition into a potentially drier pattern with this split jet stream flow. And that's going to be interesting to watch. So that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.